Why did this have to happen? Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another Failure Friday. Today, on the chopping block, we have... That's right, today we're going to be taking a look at the reason why the Dark Knight franchise was made in the first place. Batman and Robin. There really isn't that much to say about this thing. I mean, everybody knows it's terrible. Nobody thinks it's good. The director says it was fucking terrible. So why am I talking about it? Because it's terrible and it still needs to be talked about. This movie starts off with some of the corniest dialogue you could ever think of a movie starting off with. It starts off with Batman and Robin in the Batcave, you know, it's like Batman? And you know, the car's ready, and you know, he's got and Robin's on his bike, and Robin's all like, I want a car. Chicks dig the car. From there it goes to, this is why Superman works alone. You've brought Superman into this world? Superman? You fucked him over too? From Robin's little one-liner, it turns to George Clooney, because he's not Batman, he's George Clooney saying to Alfred, don't wait up for us, Al. And Alfred's fantastic, just genius replies, I'll cancel the pizzas. Oh, Jesus, is this really what we're in for in a Batman film? Especially after you had the Batman 89, Batman Returns. I'm not going to count Batman forever, but Batman 89 and Batman Returns. After that, we're going to get this? This is the Batman that you want to give us, Schumacher? From the Batcave segment, we go to some ludicrous bullshit. Commissioner Gordon pops up on the screen being like, Batman, we have a new villain in Gotham City. He's calling himself Mr. Freeze. You can just tell the dialogue in this film is going to be absolutely god-awful. From the first 5 minutes of this movie, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, this movie is going to rape and murder Batman for a long time. It continues along, we see Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, and all he says are one-liners. That's it! That's all he's got is just a bunch of one-liners, one after the other, after the other, after the other, pun after pun after pun. He does not pardon the pun. He embraces the pun, and it pisses me the hell off. All you need to know is that this is one of the worst movies of all time, if not the worst movie of all time, simply because it destroys all the character that Batman, Robin, Mr. Freeze, any of them had in the comics or other forms of media. It destroys all of it. It destroys what the previous movies had done, it destroys what the comics had done, and thank fuck Christopher Nolan came along and cleaned the shit up. Because this should not be remembered at all, but it is. It's remembered very, very vividly in our minds. It is just placed there. It is placed in our minds and we can't forget it because it'll never go away because it's that fucking terrible. All I need to tell you about this film is that Mr. Freeze is going around freezing the city so he can ransom the city off for gems to power his suit so he can some shit about his wife dying and he needs to trade in. And all, I don't know. I don't want to know. Just stop! And we see the introduction of Poison Ivy, and she's all, the plants! The plants! The plants! The plants! Oh, Jesus. And then we get Bane. Bane's just this big, dumb dipshit with no hair, and he's like, Bane! This movie just goes from bad to worse to worse. To go find me a gun so I can put a bullet in my head. And just some of the camera work and some of the physics they use in this movie is just ridiculous. You know, Robin's all climbing the outside of a rocket that is freezing on the inside because of the weather that it's in, but Robin's completely fine. Does he have like self-heating or some shit in that suit with the nipples? Like, does the nipples, like, does he just rub them and he gets warm? Is that what happens? Does he just rub his nipples? Is that the point of the bat nipples? So he can stay warm when he's climbing up a rocket that's being frozen? And then like the whole reverse camera out of water shot that they actually use. You'd think it'd be a joke, wouldn't you? You'd think when they're like, alright, we're just going to reverse this footage and then we'll put that in the movie, you're like, good one, alright, what's the plan? It's so bad. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this movie now. I'm too worked up, I'm too angry about it. I just want to go and watch The Dark Knight and get some peace about me and know that there is a really good Batman film that can still be made. And this isn't the lasting impact of Batman on the big screen. Honestly, that's the only thing that can be taken out of this movie, is the fact that this movie was so fucking terrible. This movie just dropped everything. This movie dropped the ball for superhero movies in general. I think we're just lucky that Christopher Nolan came along and picked it up and said, let me do it this way. And they're like, can't be worse than this shit. So, thank you, Batman and Robin, for somehow being a part of giving us The Dark Knight. But in no way, shape or form am I going to give you any credit for this movie being so awesome and your movie being so terrible. I just find it really funny that all the actors and the director and the producer and everybody else in these interviews that they've done since the film's release, they've said how terrible it is, and that the fact that it just looks like a big commercial for toys and cars and shit. And that's exactly what it was. This movie has just failed in every way aspect. It's failed in movie making. It's failed in the process of filmmaking. I hope to God nobody has to watch this movie again. It is complete garbage. It is terrible. It is just worse than the worst than the worst. It destroyed superhero movies until X-Men came along and showed us that superhero movies can still be awesome. This movie killed a genre for a period of time. Now it's here on a Failure Friday where it belongs. I'm done talking about this movie. You shouldn't watch it. Don't watch it. But what you should watch are more videos in my channel. That's all we got time for this Failure Friday. If you like what you saw, hit that like button below, subscribe on the side, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.